Boom. Alrighty, y'all. What is good? It is your boy, the Low-Key Legend, man. Welcome back. Got another episode of Call of Duty commentary, man. This is probably one of my favorite series I've ever came up with, just because I get to sit back, relax, watch some Call of Duty gameplay from like 2015, 14, whenever MW3 came out. I got some nostalgia to reminisce on and talk just about whatever I want to talk about, man. We're using the M4A1 on, they just showed this map. I don't remember the name, sadly, because I wasn't looking at the screen. Unfortunate, but it is what it is, man. Whatever. It's your boy. I'm back again with another episode of COD commentary. Today we're going to be talking about why this game fell off as hard as it did. I'm sure you guys have your own explanations for why this game is just complete shit now. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Hopefully they don't hit me with some copyright stuff, or hey man, you swore in this video, so we can't let you monetize it. If that's how it goes, it is what it is. I'd rather have you guys get my raw perspective on why this game fell off. And just a commentary in general on, how I'm feeling. And that's how I look at this whole series, is like, it is what it is. I'm going to say what I want. And if YouTube has some restrictions for it, God forbid, it is what it is. So this is right here. Look at this MP7 person I get shot by. We're actually in a modded lobby right now, whether you guys notice that or not. This is a 9v9 regular team deathmatch. I'm using the CM 96. I don't know if that's even the gun, dude. It's been so long since I actually really sat down and wanted to even know this game a little more. And I'm gonna let you guys know right now, man, this is not a game that I ever really got into as much as at least MW2, Call of Duty 4, World at War, Black Ops 1. This was like the last COD that I really got into. Even Black Ops 2, I know they supposedly are going to remaster Black Ops 2. Unfortunately, I didn't care about Black Ops 2. You know what I mean? It was a good game, but as far as multiplayer went, I was not their number one supporter in multiplayer. I'm pretty sure I got to third, maybe fourth prestige, and I was like, I'm not going all the way on this game. It just didn't hit the same. And I'm just going to refresh my stats. And that's exactly what I did. I refreshed my Black Ops 2 stats. And I remember when you did it, they gave you a little title calling card. And it was just an eraser. And I would just use that as I played the rest of the game. I'm pretty sure I got to third prestige again. So third prestige plus third prestige, I probably got to seventh, maybe eighth prestige on Black Ops 2. But it wasn't one of those Call of Duties where I know probably majority of you guys were obsessed with, you know what I mean? As far as multiplayer went, that's a lot of people's favorite Call of Duty. For me, it wasn't at all. It was probably bottom of every other Call of Duty I played since then. But I know a lot of people liked it. So I can't really, I'm not given the leeway to really hate on it as much as I want to. It was a good COD, you know what I mean? As far as the community went, that's where, that's why I can't hate on it, is because the community really enjoyed it. It's probably just a time period thing, or a generational thing. Maybe you guys a couple years younger than me would enjoy Black Ops 2 a little bit more than, World at War, just because you didn't get the chance to play World at War. And I respect that, you know what I mean? Definitely respect that. And, yeah, that's kind of where my stance is on Call of Duty. This was the last good Call of Duty, and this barely made the list, you know what I mean? But I'll accept it, you know what I mean? I didn't get too much of a leeway with Call of Duty as probably other people might have. But I also was born in a different time period where COD 4 was my first COD. I would say my real first Call of Duty was World at War, where I took it serious. I got to 8th prestige in World at War. and I was like very proud of that. And then MW2, I did pretty decent at. Probably got to like, I don't know, 6 prestige. And then Black Ops 1, I went all the way. That was my first COD I went to the max prestige in, and I was pretty proud of that. That's the only Call of Duty I really ever did that in, was Black Ops 1, 15th prestige, and that was all legit, you know. Had a lot of time played with that, but also at the same time, I had a lot of friends that played that game as well, and they're the main influence I had in that game to getting to Master Prestige, just because we'd go to school. I was probably middle school, you know, maybe a little bit after, maybe 8th grade to freshman year was when Black Ops 1 was out, and yeah, I went out and would play with them every day after school. I actually met this dude. His name was Stabby. I'll never forget this dude, because he was like probably 10, 15 years older than us when we were playing this game, and he just accepted us, you know what I mean? He was like old school construction worker, and we got along great. I actually met up with him in real life, and I don't know, I just introduced him to my friend group, and he was very friendly. I remember the first time I met him, we were in like a search and destroy lobby, and a bunch of people were picking on him, and I was like, hey man, like, leave this dude alone. Like, this seems like a good, just listening out of a, you know, I wasn't even, I just joined, and they were discussing a lobby that they've recently been in, or a match they've recently been in, and I was like, hey man, like, y'all sound like assholes, bro. Leave this dude alone. And he kind of respected that a little bit more, and yeah, that's really what kicked it off. And I spent like 3-4 years playing Call of Duty with this guy, and unfortunately I lost contact with him, so hopefully one day I can get back together with him, at least just talk to him and see how he's doing and everything. But I did meet him in real life too, which was crazy. Like, he just managed to live close by, which was like, I really think God had a big hand in that for sure. I think we went 14-7 in that last game. We're playing some team deathmatch on hard hat for this last little gameplay, but I did want to talk about some actual stuff in this commentary instead of just me rambling a little bit. I know you guys like the rambling ones, for the very few that do watch this series, but I did want to talk about why Call of Duty fell off as hard as it did. If you guys are playing Black Ops 6, I know you guys are probably in the same boat as me, as like, you wanted to get that nostalgia back, but you never really got it, and I want to talk about why that is. So let's talk about it. I mean, the main thing that Call of Duty did, I mean, if you guys haven't noticed that they sold the Call of Duty, like, I'm pretty sure Activision went out and sold their entire company to Microsoft, or at least sold the rights to Call of Duty to Microsoft. So Microsoft now runs Call of Duty, and that is massive to a scale where you guys can't even comprehend. You know what I mean? Their main thing is money, and I mean, I don't blame them to an extent, because this was the best game to ever come out on really in general. You know what I mean? This was a game where you hopped on with your friends, and this was like the go-to thing, like kind of how GTA is now. This was the thing before that, you know. You'd get on after school with your friends in this specific game, and it was just a game to get in with your friends. You could have up to 6 people. I'm sure not a lot of people had more than 6 people that they wanted to get together with at one time. It was rare if you had more people, like, you know, 7, 8, 9 people where you wanted to play the same game together. It was usually about 6 was the max, and this was the perfect game for it. So a lot of people, you know, took advantage of this game, and it was very simplistic when it was in its prime. And now I feel like they pushed too much on the microtransactions. That's the main thing I really think they messed up on. Granted, it's on Game Pass, so you can get this game for free. I don't know about MW3, but I know you can get the latest Call of Duties now that Microsoft bought it on the Game Pass. but you're not making much profit on the game coming out as you would have, you know what I mean? Because they're sacrificing quality for like simplicity almost. It's very upsetting to a degree, because these people, it's not the same company running this game as it was, but they don't have, like, the bottom line is very low for this company to achieve what they want to achieve. All they got to do is just copy and paste the last Call of Duty and maybe add some different guns. And if you guys have noticed, that's what they've been doing for the past like 5 years. They kind of mimicked their old Call of Duties or older Call of Duties and are trying to just get it on the borderline, like, oh, this is an okay game, you know, just to get you back maybe once, twice a week. And that if they do that and you're spending money in game on bullshit that they decide to add into the game, they're winning, you know what I mean? So as far as Black Ops 6 goes, I really do recommend you guys like stay away from it as much as the other Call of Duties, just to kind of let them know, like, hey man, you're not going to bully us forever. You're not just going to be able to drop any Call of Duty you want and expect us to just jump on board with it because we're Call of Duty fans. Like, and I feel like that's what they're doing. You know, they feel like they can drop anything they want, as long as it's Call of Duty themed, you guys will eat it up. And I was with you, you know what I mean? I was one of them people. But you can't let them do this shit forever, because they're gonna do it forever as long as they can get away with it and make a profitable margin. And like, we gotta make a stance somewhere down the line, you know what I mean? So it is what it is at the end of the day. That's kind of why Call of Duty is the way it is because they kind of are taking advantage of the people playing it. This was probably one of the best kill streaks you can ever get in Call of Duty. It's called the Reaper. It's like an AC-130 with a Predator missile launcher on it, and it was just a cool little nostalgic thing that I got to experience for at least a couple kills. I know it wasn't that crazy. I got like 2 kills with it, and I'm making a video about it, but at the end of the day, this was prime Call of Duty. You know what I mean? It might not have been exactly prime, but it was enough to be nostalgic for me. You know what I mean? I'm sure a lot of you guys as well. We'll talk about a little bit more of this in another video of COD commentary. Appreciate you guys watching. I love y'all. Be safe, savage, low key. I'm out of here, man. Adios.